Pain and misery on the ice. Pain and even more misery in the comments. Your New Jersey Devils go to Philadelphia looking for a third consecutive victory, coming off of a beautiful win against the Canadiens in overtime, and your New Jersey Devils fall by a score of 4-2 in Philadelphia. Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button. Smash the like. Share with a friend. Thank you very much. And I am just preparing for warfare here. The obligatory win or lose, we booze. Cheers to all my Devils fans. Tonight was a painful, atrocious one. And wow. I mean, there's not a lot really to say other than wow. Without Nico Hischier, without Jacob Markstrom, playing with a sliced up finger, Jack Hughes. And they fell short. $1 short and a day late. Surge late in the third. We've seen this from them before. The cardiac kids must always give us some sort of false hope. And it happened again tonight. Late goal. And couldn't do anything afterwards. It was too late. We scored the goal off a Timo blast, by the way, with 1:22 left. Timo's 15th for all the Timo haters. How you guys doing? But wow. Painful. Too short, too late. Cheers to my Devils fans. Too late. I wish they started pushing a little bit harder earlier in the third. Bad effort overall. Not a great game for Allen. After the 3 goals, he came up big quite often and didn't give up another one, but the damage is already done. The 3 goals were enough to win the game, and that's all she wrote. Late push. Amazing effort by Jack Hughes. I have to give it to the kid. He was out there for a long shift late in the game, kind of lost the puck on the wall. He was down on his ass and still fighting, and he was able to push the puck to another Devil, keep the play alive, and it led to that Timo goal. But wow. And as someone pointed out, on the right side, what do you know? Timo lingering near the circle on the right side with a blast. Shocking. Completely shocking. But too little, too late. Came out flat a little bit, paid for it. We lose Bastian in this one. I mean, I'm so curious to see what the hell, what are the lines going to be for next game? I have no idea. We need reinforcements. We're just losing soldiers out here left and right. I like Hallinan. I hope he gets another game. And now with, Bastian possibly being out, it makes sense for him to play another game. But what a terrible result. What a terrible result. Another guy goes down. And injuries, guys. What are you going to do? It sucks. A lot of the Doomers are just completely down on the team. Have zero faith whatsoever. Would have liked to see McDermott in this one. I mean, another game that gets a little chippy. Maybe now with the Bastian injury, they have no choice but to go to McDermott, or maybe they call up someone else from Utica. At this point, your guess is as good as mine. But a wild loss, and it's painful. Completely painful. They generated a good amount of shots. A lot of them weren't great, but Devils 33 shots on goal, Flyers 26. Devils getting absolutely owned in the faceoff circle without Nico Hischier, and it's uglier than you would have ever imagined. 38% for the Devils to 62% for the Flyers. My God. 38%. You're barely winning more than 1 out of every 3. Recipe for disaster. The power play disappeared again tonight. That 4-minute double minor they had early. They basically generated nothing. They gave up some shorthanded chances against. Devils over 3 on the power play. Flyers 1 for 2 on the power play. Devils with 20 hits. Flyers 25 hits. Devils 12 block shots. Flyers with 26 block shots. Devils 15 giveaways. Flyers 16 giveaways. Devils 7 takeaways, and the Flyers with 6 takeaways. And a painful loss. Too little, too late. Get us excited again. And another painful loss. I mean, wow. We'll start off with Woodson. You have to trade Kova with how this team is trending. Not a cup contender. Nemitz wants to play. Make up your mind. Trade Kova or Nemitz and move on. I think there's a chance you see one of those two things happen for sure. I also believe it's a possibility that neither one of them gets traded. You know, Fitz did say he was going to try to sign Kovacevic. I think even a couple months ago now. So, or definitely over a month ago. I would like to see what the verdict is on that situation. I believe maybe that Fitz will try to trade him if he doesn't think he could sign him. But I would love to have him for a playoff run and beyond. Dyer, John Woodson, exactly. Jack needs Zubris-like players on his wings, and he's not getting that on his team. And I do agree with that. For the younger fans, Dinas Zubris was a monster of a man. As some knew him as the Lithuanian love machine. I don't know if anyone will get that reference. But heavy on the puck, heavy on the wall. Him, Yager, and Zajac was one of the funnest lines to watch. In some very dark years for the Devils where the team really sucked. Zajac between Zubris and Jaromir Jagr were they had some amazing cycling shifts where teams just couldn't get them off the puck. A very heavy punishing type line. But I do agree, Jack would definitely benefit from playing with a guy like that. RJ, also when we are going to get competent refs, I could find a more reliable Zebra Foot Locker. Jay Snow, Woodson, I agree. Jack's a good player, needs to be surrounded by two big wingers. Problem is our entire core is undersized. And I've said this for a while, guys, and that's why, one of the many reasons why I constantly say the notion of trading Timo Meier is absurd. He's one of the only physical forwards we have. Like, the team overall would be much softer, if they were to ever get rid of Timo. But again, he's part of the core, and I don't see them trading Timo anytime soon. So for all the Timo haters, I don't think it's realistic, and it shouldn't be. Timo's going to be a big part of this team going forward. Luke, what's going on? Who gets called to replace Bastion? Rolling have a brother. I think there's a chance you see McDermott, or if it's not McDermott, maybe we'll see Legary again. I don't know. Yo, Holmes, Country Club, Keefe. Woodson, we don't have one Zubris on this team, not even close. I agree there as well. RJ Connor, I'd rather have Covey than Siegs. I am there with you as well. But depending on what the situation is with how much money Kovacevic wants, I could see Fitz being like, we'll just keep Siegenthaler. But if it came down to it for me, I'd rather have Kovacevic as well. Stanley, Devin, yep, and it doesn't take a brain surgeon to realize where the problems arise. New coach, new players brought in. Maybe it's overrated, soft, injury-prone superstars and piss-poor management. Wow. What's going on, Marta? Need to bring some bigger guys. I'm all about the bigger guys. Heavier, edgier, more violent, and I thought Fitz did a great job of sprinkling some of that into the roster this offseason with the additions of Brendan Dillon, Johnny Kovacevic, Cotter, Nason, but the reality is it's still not enough, which is sad. I mean, that's how soft the team was. We added those guys, and it's still not enough. Wild. John Woodson, the return for Jack would be huge and what's needed to make a big step in the right direction, but it won't happen. Of course, Woodson. That's why it's a waste of breath to talk about it. You know damn well the Hughes brothers aren't going anywhere. The Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment ownership group is all in on the Hughes business. They are big on the Hughes business, and I get it. Dire Straits, we don't, and that's what he needs. Like you said, whole core is soft. A lot of the players are redundant on this team. Yes, again, another glowing reason why anyone talking about trading Timo Meier is out of their mind. John Clark, refs have been a problem throughout the league. The late call against the Avs yesterday happened to work out versus New York Rangers. It's been pretty bad. Traveling Devil, Covey is willing to play heavier, edgier, more violent. The team buys in and is allowed to. Carson, is Siegenthaler? Yes, that's who it is. Alex, good to see team on the board. Gonna see what this team has now with the injuries. Guys need to step up, and they did not step up nearly enough tonight. Woodson, I didn't want to re-sign Bratt because we already had Jack, Nico, and Mercer. Someone on the top six has to be able to survive contact. I think you're underselling Bratter a little bit. He could be a little bull on the puck, and it was, as seen in that Montreal game, in that play where he just dragged the defender all the way around the back of the net, up the boards, and back down and fired off a backhander. Bratt is a very good value contract at the moment, and for anyone to say anything otherwise would be kind of wild. Alex, if we sell at the deadline, Big's move coming in the offseason, I don't know, man. I don't see us buying right now. It would be a travesty. If we're not buyers, I am going to be pissed. We 100% need to be buyers, and if we're not, then we're not serious about winning once again, and it would break my heart and infuriate me. Stanley, I'd take a 33-game losing streak if it meant ridding the organization of this loser management group. All they have done is assembled a tissue-soft roster and a losing culture. Jeez, Stanley. Tell me what you really think. I think there's some truth within your tirade there. Unfortunately, I think the culture has been a losing culture for a while. We made the playoffs one year, and again, that's why I've said time and time again, that's why I was so mad last year. If we had gotten a goalie in February, even, I think we could have had a chance to claw into the playoffs. And I believe that experience of going to the playoffs, even if you get swept, it's a invaluable experience for a group of young guys looking to win a cup together to go through that. And we were robbed of that. And I think that doesn't do the team any justice. And I think it is kind of psychologically damaging in a way that they thought, and a lot of the fans, myself included, thought that we'd finally turn the corner in that 22-23 season. To follow it up with a season where you missed the playoffs is inexcusable. John Woodson, running the 1-3-1 would actually be smart. Wait for their team to make a mistake and turn it into a transition chance. Alex Luke had a rough go tonight. Traveling Devil, isn't D'Angelo a cancer? I hate stories like this because they're based on, a person or two's opinion, and it kind of gets widespread. There was a story out, I forget from who, but someone in the hockey, media circles had said that they had heard from someone in Long Island that they got a bunch of texts about how great Tony D'Angelo is. And so I think with a lot of people, in regular life, aside from sports and hockey specifically, I'm sure everyone's had a coworker that so-and-so was like, oh man, that guy Jared's a real dick. And you're like, well, I'm cool with Jared. I like Jared. I mean, you're not, especially in hockey, and a guy like D'Angelo, listen, he's very polarizing. You have to understand that. And I could see people loving him and people hating him. It makes sense. So I think that kind of got misconstrued into a locker room cancer. Now, again, I'm not claiming to be an expert on the matter. I don't know, the ins and outs of his life and all these things that happen in the locker rooms. But I do think a lot of times guys get painted in that way because they didn't have 100% approval rating from everyone around them. And unfortunately in life, it's pretty damn hard to get 100% approval rating anywhere for anyone. Yeah, Carson saying more about the, I don't know if any of this is true, but Woodson says Casey can replace Luke easily. I don't know what the point of that is. Devin G, I love the Hughes, but something Luke for some good comp. Maybe Jack will melt into the locker room a bit better without a sidekick. Woodson says Nemitz won't come up unless they trade someone. I also agree with that. Or an injury, obviously. Trade or injury. Jay Snow, Luke's offense hasn't been there this year, and he's still young on the D side. I'm not paying him $8 million right now. I think I predicted it'll be between $7 and $8 million. Justin, pond hockey at best. Team scares me of being the team that could perform under pressure. At this point, the Devils are playing like a wild card team at best. That could be the reality too. Stanley, how Jack is still barely bigger than Rachel Herzog is mind-blowing at this point of his career. He should be living in a gym during the offseason. I think you will probably see that from him this upcoming offseason. Last offseason, he obviously was rehabbing recovering from a shoulder surgery, and so he probably wasn't cleared to really do too much lifting, if I had to guess. Jay Snow, if I was Jack, I'd be yoked out of my mind. I won't get pushed around on the ice. I mean, Devin G, need to do something. We needed a bottom six guy for weeks now and nothing from our GM. You haven't seen too many moves yet, but I'd like to see something sooner than later. And if he is, in fact, waiting to see if he wants to buy or not, I think that's, kind of a misstep because the team could use the help now. And I do believe with a couple tweaks, when we're healthy, we are a dangerous club. But right now we're kind of in a rough spot. And if we become sellers, I'm going to go scorched earth. I will. If we become sellers on this season, it'd be terrible. No excuses, Ace. No excuses for what, Woodson? Ritter Engine, in my opinion, the team looks lost and sloppy. Nothing to do with Nico or Mark yet. They've been playing like this since the beginning of the year. Scoring is non-existent, unreal. I mean, it's a cutesy thing to say, but we did score 5 goals and then 4 goals. Scored 9 goals in 2 games, 4.5 goals on average over 2 games. Obviously, it's only 2 games, and we were not scoring forever, but it was nice to see that. But I don't know how you could say it has nothing to do with Nico or Marky out. I do believe if Marky was in the net tonight, we win the game. I hate to be that guy. I do. I hate to be that guy, but I do believe if Markstrom was in net, we win the game tonight. And 38% on faceoffs. I mean, how are you going to say it has nothing to do with Nico? We were getting killed in the, when you're constantly losing faceoffs, you're losing possession time. Painful. Woodson says I skate 4 minutes straight too, and it's no contact public open skate with my girlfriend. You guys are brutal. Stanley, I've tried to be fair to Timo, but that trade was a mistake. Dude doesn't move the needle at all. It was basically pointless. I very much disagree with you there. RJ says keep Covey and dump Siegs. At least Covey shows passion. He definitely does. I'd be curious to see. I just don't see the defense getting changed in the season. I think you see a reworking of it in the summer. I just don't think you're going to see changes this season. I could be wrong. Yeah, yo, Holmes, 38%. It was brutal, man. I figured it'd be something like that. As the game was going on, we were getting killed. Wooden says last year, Siegs had the value of a pencil. Now he actually has value. Cash it in. I'm not against it. Devin, I knew after that 4-minute power play, we looked hard. Yeah, that was painful. Alex, how much more shit play do you take, Ace, until you start looking at coaching? I mean, listen, Keefe's not going anywhere anytime soon either. His first year here, and he's gotten some bad hands dealt to him. Now, has there been some things that I've looked at that he's done and I'm like, whoa, it's a little odd? Absolutely. But in the end, the players have to perform. Like, you can't. I think coaches all too often get too much praise or too much flack for when teams succeed or lose. Like, the coach has a lot to do with the game, but in the end, no one has more to do with the game than the actual players. And if the players are going out there giving half-ass efforts, I mean, yeah, what do you want to see them bench guys? I mean, that's all good and fine. But when we need these points, do you really want to, I don't know, put the team in a position to struggle even more to send a message? Maybe they should. I don't have the answers for that sort of stuff, but it has been painful. He can only work with what he's got. Woodson Fitz also said Nemitz will play in the big club next year. Dire Straits. Fitz has gone into hiding again like he did last year. Ritter Engine. Some of the shots we're taking are head scratchers. Weird angle shots are shooting right into the goalie pads. Mercer, cough. That was the whole team, man. That was the whole team. The whole team was shooting straight at the goalie, shooting straight into defenders' shin pads. You can't just single out Mercer. There was a lot of poor shots. But in the end, if it comes down to taking shit shots versus looking for too pretty of a play and not taking any shots, I'll always take shoot from everywhere over the constantly passing, looking for, a highlight reel play. Stanley, it's not doing. This team sucks outside of that 2-week defensive clinic. They've frustrated and underwhelmed all season. Now the injuries are piling up, and it's apparent how paper thin they are. Well, I think everybody was worried about the forward depth. I don't think that's anything new. Devin G, we need that 4 Nations break. Yeah, for sure. It can't come soon enough. We got guys all nicked up, and we need to heal as much as possible. Dire Straits, the Devils haven't won 4 in a row the entire season, not a cup contending team. And I will say, I've said this again, winning 4 in a row is not a prerequisite to win the Stanley Cup. And for a while, the Devils seem to be winning like 3 out of every 4 games. Sign me up for that all day, every day. Now, it would be nice to go on an 8-9 game heater. Absolutely. We have to win 4 before we could think about 8 or 9. But consistently winning, even if you're not winning 4 in a row, is, that I'm not looking to that as a make or break metric or measurement of the team. Like, yes, you would think that a good team wins 4 in a row, but winning 3 out of 4 consistently is 750 hockey, and sign me up for that all day, every day. Hopefully they just start winning more consistently, but every time it seems like we're taking a step forward, some shit happens. Missing Nico is massive, and it can't be understated, and it's not an excuse. It's the reality. The performance tonight was unacceptable, in my opinion, regardless of all the bullshit. But what I'm saying is, as a Devils fan, forget, whatever the outside noise. You have to look at the team and say, wow, without our star goalie and our captain, who is our best overall player, and with Jack Hughes hurt, like, the fact that we really were in the game till the end, granted, it was, $1 short, day late, made the surge late, but it was a game at the very end. Wish they showed up and played harder earlier. But shit, without those pieces and with Jack hurt, you're asking for a lot. James, I can play ace. I haven't played in 20 years, but I know when someone knocks out a teammate, you go up to the offender and pummel the offender. Yeah, I would love to see that. And I don't think, James, that it is a case of the personnel. It has to be a mandate. This is coming from above. This is not the players, because we have guys that'll drop the mitts. Dylan being the number one, just, he's a dog out there. He'll take care of business, and especially when people get hit. If there's anything kind of that warrants a response, I think Keefe has told them not to do anything, and it's sad. Stanley, Fitz shouldn't have a say in who plays next year. Pack your bags, Tom. Jace, no, that's why I wouldn't mind trading Mercer in a package. He's another small forward. Yeah, but then that's just another player you need to replace. That's the thing. The offensive depth is not there. The forward depth is non-existent. So unless you're doing a move like, okay, what the Hurricanes did, they traded a great forward in Natchez, but they got two back. They got Rantanen, who's an upgrade over Natchez, and Taylor Hall. If you're talking about in some sort of bigger deal like that where you get two good forwards, sure. But if it's just to get a quote-unquote better forward, then to me it's a lateral move. Yeah, the guy might be better than Mercer, but you still have extra slots that you need better forwards. Justin T says it's mental issues. John Woodson, we have time to see Mercer out. He could be better than we think. I'm high on Mercer. Michael, good morning, Devils fans from Finland. How could we give Rasmus Restalainen 2 apples? New Jersey Devils hockey, baby. Tom P, I think it's a mentality thing. 2 seasons ago, we could have tied the game. Good teams play bad and still find ways to win. They were close. We got a couple. We had a little action before they buried that empty netter, the dagger to our hearts. John Woodson, we value jersey sales to young Taylor Swift fans over being a cup contender. It's maddening. Do they? I don't know that I agree with that. I do agree that they prioritize, profit and marketing nonsense over winning. That I agree with, but I don't think it's necessarily jersey sales. Mr. Bone, we hate Josh Harris in Philly. Expand on that, sir. So I'm assuming you're Mr. Bone. You look like obviously a Flyers fan here. Congratulations on the win. Our team didn't show up, but you guys played well enough to beat us. I'm assuming you're an all Philly everything. And so, yes, for those that don't know in the chat, Josh Harris and the Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment Group, the conglomerate that owns the Devils, also owns the Washington Commanders of the NFL and the Philadelphia 76ers of the NBA. And so, Mr. Bone, I am very curious why you hate Josh Harris in Philly. I look forward to eventually getting down to your answer to that. Just the Devils fan. Trades need to be made. Injuries and lack of depth scoring is killing us, but the refs were absolutely terrible during the Flyers game. The refs are terrible every game, guys. It's a constant in life. Death taxes, horrible refereeing in the NHL. It is what it is. They didn't play hard enough or urgent enough soon enough to be in this game until the very end, and it was too late. It sucks. It's unfortunate. The injuries are obviously massive. They got to find a way to win these games still. Brian J. Fitz needs to make a move. Damn it, before it's too late. I love the Hughes bros, but they are too soft. It's not good when your best players are soft. Brader got steamrolled tonight. Luke, so when they miss the playoffs, is all the Kool-Aid Brigade going to give Booze Face Fitz another pass? 13 years, 2 playoffs, terrible. Being better than Buffalo shouldn't be the bar. Oh, it's definitely not for me, Luke. I will say, if we miss the playoffs this year, I would love to see sweeping changes. And I don't even want to let my brain get there. I mean, missing the playoffs this year would be one of the biggest kick in the nuts as a Devils fan who's received plenty of kicks in the nuts over the past 11 years. Making the playoffs shouldn't even be an option. Yeah, I mean, really, at this point, Fitz should be a buyer no matter what, because he shouldn't really care about protecting the future, because if we don't make the playoffs, there should not be a future for him. I will agree with that. And so if you're Tom Fitzgerald, why not go all in? Maybe not even all in, but just make a push, put some chips in the middle to try to win now, because if you don't, stockpiling picks and all these prospects for the future ain't going to matter, because you ain't going to be here for that future. So he should really be moving from a position of, urgency. John Woodson, Brad is great, better than Jack in my mind, but if you can't trade Jack, you have to get a few big bodies, guys. I want the big bodies. You guys know the types of players I like. Well documented. Jack McCabe to feed off of Woodson. Chat, who out there would accept a B. Kachuk for Jay Hughes? Oh, my God. That would never happen. But, I mean, Devin, we have the D we need and then some. We need to rip the Band-Aid off and sell a D asset for a good top guy. And Devin, I could not agree with you more. And the more I've been thinking about it over the past week or two, the more I am saying, unfortunately, with the pieces we have, our biggest trade piece is Shimo Nemitz, and I would play the hand. We don't really have a choice. SJ, seems like Mercer's a third liner at best, which is fine, but we need a top sixer. Oh, if you're waiting for a top sixer at the deadline, I'm really prepared to be disappointed. Officially, Luke got to stop turning the puck, and Devils need Nico and Markstrom. Agreed across the board. Just Devils fan. If Bratt left, that'd be crushed. Needs to stay. Mercer has some good games. Same with Palat, but when are they really good assets? When you guys are forgetting that, just like the game before this one, Mercer had 2 goals. Woodson, signing 5 small body guys is moronic. I don't care how skilled they are. Lou knew how to build a team. Fitz lives in the analytics world. Agree with you entirely, Woodson. There's more than just the analytics. You need physical guys. You need a good mixture, and that's why I loved the additions of Cotter and Nason. And like someone said, and maybe it was Woodson and other guys, we need 2 more guys like them. I mean, that's the reality. We cannot add any more finesse, dainty players. They need to be dogs, junkyard dogs with some mass. And there's going to be guys out there. I'm just so curious to see if and when anything happens. But if nothing happens, I'm going to go ballistic, to be honest. Luke, if I'd have more faith in Fitz if he unloaded Hamilton, Dillon, Hall, Plot, and any other vets for futures. This team ain't it. Allen and Markstrom, too. Oh, my God, Luke. You've let the Doomers get to you, bro. You've let the Doomers get to you. You're not trading an entire team midseason. Allen is gone after this year. Markstrom has been lights out. I don't know how you could hate on Markstrom. And then the other guys, okay, Hamilton, Dillon's not going anywhere. We just got him. But, bringing up Hamilton, Hall, Palat, all fair to bring up. But for anyone to expect all of those moves to go down, in season, I think is nuts. Yo, Holmes, the problem is everyone significant is signed long-term, and now the coach is Country Club Keith, who always wants to skip town back to Toronto. That's really bothering some of you guys. It really is. Luke, only untouchables on the NHL club should be Jack, Luke, Nico, Bratt, and Meyer. Okay. Woodson says we literally added 15 years to the rebuild with Jack Hughes. I don't know about that. RJ, team has proven they can play well in physical. Let's just hope it's a slump and they can turn it around. The physicality left the building like maybe a month ago, maybe more, about a month ago. Hitting is just like, it's just not something we see. I don't know why. Jack McCabe, gonna have to ship out some of the deep prospects for forward sooner than later, and that is the wave I am on, Mr. Jack McCabe. There's no point in continually talking about the future. What do you have an abundance of? Defensemen and defensive prospects. What do you need? Help up front. The logical solution is you cash in one of those prospects for help up front, preferably a guy that could be here and give you a solid chance to win for the next few years at least. Dire Straits went from a dominant team to utter garbage. Harris and Blitzer don't give a shit about this team. Fair comment. Tom P, confused why the team stopped fighting. We led the league in fights at one point. Not a direct correlation, but seems like the passion isn't there anymore. I agree, and I think we were kind of neutered by Keefe. For whatever reason, we led the league in fights. Now I think we're in last. And again, I'm not just saying fight for the sake of fighting, even though, I enjoy watching it. Don't get me wrong. But there's been millions of instances where it's like, this is where you'd like to see a fight. Whether it's in response to something dirty, in response to even a clean big hit. Sometimes you'll see fights. People running the goalie, looking for a momentum swing in a game where they need some sort of spark. Many reasons why you'd like to see a fight, and we've just seen nothing. What was the last fight we saw? I don't even remember. What was the last fight we saw? Was it the one where they gave Pesci a fighting major and he never took his gloves off? Yo Holmes says Kovacevic is getting traded. It could happen. Carson, most of this is actually funny. I love the shit talk here. I wish Caniacs were like this to put more pressure on the team. What are you complaining about? You just got Rantanen and Taylor Hall the other night. You should be on cloud 9. Tom P, wouldn't be shocked. Feel like our scoring stopped once the boys stopped chucking them. Look at this. I have an angry, violent bunch in here. I like it a little bit. I like that other people are seeing the signs of the weakness. I do like that because a lot of people are like, oh, you are a dinosaur. You live in the Stone Age. Fighting and physicality doesn't matter. It certainly matters. It certainly matters. Ritter Engine need a depth center ASAP. Agree there. Yo Holmes can't believe it. 38% faceoffs is disgraceful. And that is the Nico Hischier effect. People need to realize, I think everyone obviously knows that Nico is good, but I don't think people realize how valuable he is to the team. And it is unfortunate that you'll see such a drop-off when he's injured or not in the lineup. 38% faceoffs is pitiful. Absolutely pitiful, and that's what we are without Nico. Taking the majority of all the big faceoffs, the dude's a legend. Wild. Yo Holmes says we need 2 new centers ASAP. Metalander, check me, but isn't it illegal to play the puck with a broken stick? It is, and I think the Flyer did get away with it, but I think it was like still intact enough to where he could try to pretend like it broke on the second shot or when he went to play the puck, but that was missed. Dougie was furious. Dire Straits, SST may look like a genius when April comes around. No, dooming all the time and being right sometimes doesn't make you a genius. Alex, having heavier edge and more violent guys is the equivalent of having a run game D in the NFL. Look what Saquon did with the Eagles. Star players and goalies are like your QB and wide receiver. Justin T. I personally think something happened during Carolina series earlier this or last month / Christmas. I don't know. That's when the struggles began. The second game of the home and home. Luke says, can't blame Allen for this game. Should have been 7-2. It could have been. Jay Snow, Ace, they pushed us off puck so easily and killed us on the walls. Yo, Holmes, Woodson, I'll give you credit. You are only 50-50 with brutal takes today. A fine improvement. Force says, one day we'll see this team consistently play 60 minutes. One day. I anxiously await that day along with you, Force, because it is a totally different team when we get that 60 minutes. But those efforts have been too few and far between, and they need to figure it out soon because we're in crunch time, guys. 30 games left. Can you believe it? 30 games left. Luke, only Nico coming to faceoffs. Our booze-faced GM hasn't addressed it and won't till March. I hope not. Jack, I don't think the Devils won one puck battle tonight. Well, you must have missed Jack Hughes from the seat of his pants, my man. Every time there's a loose puck, a Flyer got it. Between that and the faceoffs and the lack of physicality, gonna have a lot to fix by Wednesday. I'm trying to get caught up here. Luke, keep hearing about the deep prospect pool, yet Dowling is 3C. Franchise has a major culture issue. Team is flawed. Look at all the ex-Devils in the league killing it. It's the team franchise. I don't think that's the case. I just think we've had some unfortunate timing with guys earlier on in their careers where they were just buried down the depth chart. And, like where was, how is Boquist going to really kind of get a big role on a team that has all these forwards? He did play possessed against the Devils, though. Boquist looked real good against the Devils. He's on the playing third line for the Panthers. Monty Jet, what's going on? Jason, no Ace, we had one high danger chance. That is the biggest joke. Yeah, the offense looked terrible tonight. Woodson, we have no forward prospect pool. They'll name 2-3 guys, but no real grade A prospect. I'm not going to say they're definitive, Woodson, but I think Gritsuk and the Haminaho kid could be. They could be. Now, obviously, they're not Macklin Celebrini, but I mean, I think both of those guys have a chance to be decent NHL players. Stanley, Ace, you're doing the Lord's work dealing with this bitterness. Credit to you keeping a level head through this. Literally years of frustration and the same never-ending issues, problems. No, I get it, man. Listen, I appreciate you guys watching. I'm not trying to be a dick to anybody, but I like to bust chops a little bit. But yeah, I get it, guys. This is Stanley 62495. This man's screen name, for those that haven't picked up on it, is the date of the New Jersey Devils' first Stanley Cup championship win. Game 4, 1995 Cup Finals against the Red Wings. A team picked by everyone on the planet to just destroy the Devils, and it was a joke that the Devils were even showing up to the series. Devils sweep them in 4 at Brendan Byrne Arena. Our first cup is here. Jacques Lemaire, the legend, and we're about a little more than 5 months away from the 30-year anniversary. Crazy in and of itself, but for the longtime fans like myself that lived through the dynasty years and saw Cup champions since Marty left 10 years ago, The team has been bad. I mean, listen, it's true. You can't, there's no way to sugarcoat that. Taylor Hall dragged us to the playoffs and won the Hart Trophy for it. Tampa smacked us in 5 games. And the only other playoff appearance was that 22-23 season. Great regular season, set the franchise record in points, beat the Rangers in 7 thanks to Akira Schmid. Salute Akira Schmid, always a franchise legend in my book. And then we got handled by the Hurricanes. That season should have been the turnaround of what was to become a perennial playoff contending team like the Dynasty Devils, where you know they're getting to the playoffs. It's just a matter of how far are they going to go, or could it be their year? But last year we took a major regression, major step back. Injuries didn't help any, but neither did Fitz not getting any help in any fashion, especially a goalie. We missed the playoffs, and now it seems like we're almost back at square one, and it sucks. And I feel your frustration, Stanley. I've been now, just holding out hope for a turnaround for the past decade, and I get it. There has been some terrible Devils teams since Marty left, and it's very painful. Brendan plays, I think under our circumstances, it was not horrendous. It could have been worse, and we have seen worse. Get healthy, make some scoring moves, and get some center depth. Yeah, I like that. It's just a shame that we didn't really, press the gas too much until it was too late. Like, why didn't we come balls out to start the third? It's just very frustrating. Obviously, the injuries suck, and it all combines to get some epic dooming here in the post-game live. And at this point, I'm almost immune to it. But wow. Luke, what about the great Chase Stillman? Booze face fit special. Booze face fit special. I hate to say this too. It's looking more and more like Chase Stillman obviously is not going to pan out to be the guy we had all hoped. I mean, I think we've had at least 4 or 5 different Utica guys called up at some point this season, and he has not been one of them. I'm trying to think in no particular order. We saw Shane Bowers. We saw Nolan Foote. We saw Legary. We've seen Hallinan. Dowling, that's at least 5. I might be missing one. Doesn't seem like he's in the on-deck circle if I had to, look into my crystal ball here. Wolf Rockin', what's going on? This team blows, Ace. Did you hear how long Nico's going to be out for, bro? We were so strong to start the season. Now we're playing like horseshit. I hope it doesn't last long. Peace, Ace. No, they're being shady with his injury, too. I hope it's not bad, but now I'm starting to get a kind of nauseating feeling that, maybe it's more serious than they originally let on. I hope so. I mean, I hope not. If that's the case, we're in trouble. We are in trouble without Nico for any sort of extended period of time. Luke, the last 13 years, the Devils have been a developmental team for the rest of the NHL. Man. Jason, no, we can't cycle pucks, can't maintain ozone pressure, soft on walls. How is this team ever winning? And you've seen what they could do when they play on top of their game. We just did win 2 games in a row. It's just when the highs are high and the lows are low. Jack McCabe, Tom Fitz must have gotten his finger stuck in a Chinese finger trap the way he's not making any moves. I'm hoping we see something soon. Jack McCabe, Tom Fitz and his Boston accent are out of the door if this team doesn't make the playoffs. I agree with that. I mean, not making the playoffs should be an immediate pink slip. Devin G, ace on the 4th line, meet line times 2. Stanley, Harris only gives a shit about his Commanders. He needs to attend a game soon, sloshed out of his mind per usual, and throw Fitz's shit out on the streets of Newark. Traveling Devil, Fitz is pissed he can't find any of Marty's vodka in New Jersey. Jason, no, we don't have some crazy owner who's pressing Fitz to win. He's not going anywhere. And I think there could be something to that. It's not like Jerry Jones of the Cowboys who wants to win more than anything. Officially, man, the Devils GM needs to be fired since he's not trading for good players and the Devils need a new GM. Troy Machine, going to the game Sunday, not even excited at this point. I would be excited. I mean, attending games is awesome. Hopefully they show up for you. That'd be nice. In Buffalo, huh? You're living near Buffalo, Troy Machine? Devin G, I like it. Coach Ace, let's go and play Timo on the right. Well, I would 1,000% put Timo on the right. And benched if you don't register a hit. That is correct, Alex. That is correct. If you don't register a hit, you're not playing the next game. There's no excuse. You have however many shifts you play, you must register a hit. LJ, thank you for the super chat, sir. The real Legion of Doom is not on the Flyers anymore. They're here in the post-game chat. Oh, man, that's hilarious. Thanks a lot, LJ. Really appreciate it. For the younger, again, fans that might not know, the Legion of Doom was the big, tough, high-scoring line of the Philadelphia Flyers that was comprised of Eric Lindros, John LeClaire, and Michael Renberg. The Legion of Doom. And they were supposed to be one of the lines that were going to kill the Devils in the 1995 Eastern Conference Finals. And the Devils had other plans. The Devils had other plans, and Bobby Holik and the boys took care of business. But the Legion of Doom, they had some epic battles with the Devils, specifically, obviously, Stevens and Lindros. And for the young kids or newer fans, worth looking up some clips of that 1995 Eastern Conference Finals, because the Devils Flyers was a great series. And, you know, their main line was that Legion of Doom that LJ is referring to here. But thank you, LJ. Appreciate it. And wow. The Legion of Doom. What an era of hockey. Jay Snow, Cotter and Nason are bottom sixers. We needed some of our main guys to have size. Yeah. And they play with an edge. They play with an edge. You need those guys. That's why I'm so high on Brady Tkachuk, because he does everything. Yo, Holmes, we can't have any more dainty players. We cannot. We absolutely cannot. You know that's true, Yo, Holmes. Woodson, Ace choosing to get rid of Nemitz to keep Kovacevic wild. Nemitz ceiling could be light years above Kova's. I get it. Ace is a short-term gain guy, and I'm long-term. Yeah, Woodson, that's all it is. I think Nemitz is going to be a good player too. But in the end, I get you're more of the, asset management guy, play the long game. We've been playing the long game forever, Woodson. At what point do you make the push to go for it? I mean, like Stanley's been pointing out, I'm tired of bullshit-ass hockey teams too, man. And the group is not going to get substantially better than the one we have now. Markstrom is a win-now goalie. I'm going for the win now. I respect your opinion with the long game, but I'm tired of the long game. We've been playing it forever. The sun will come out tomorrow. I'm tired of waiting for the sun to come out tomorrow. I want to see the sun now. I want to put my shades on now. I want the right now to be bright. I want to go to the Cup Finals now. And so that's why I keep Kovacevic. Luke, Ace, I'm done. Zero faith. It's over. Nico free agent in 2 years. We'll be here in 2 years talking about what we get for Nico. I hate this guy. And that's why I'm going for the win now, right? I mean, there is no chance that we do keep Nico. It's like, listen, put the chips in, baby. I'm done. Go for it now. I'm not trying to kick the can down the road and talk about how good of a position we'll be in to win in a few years from now. I'm going for it now. And that's it. You got to burn Nemitz, unfortunately. It's a lot of frustration here over a long time. I get it. Luke, franchise needs a culture change. Need a coach like Torts. I've loved Torts since I was a kid. Obviously, he's Italian and he's nuts and he yells a lot. Love it. Trying to fight the other team, fight the other coach. How can you not love a guy like Torts? Jay Snow, I'm so sick of my hockey team being asked for 15 years. So am I. John Woodson, Ace wants to win the Cup tomorrow, even yesterday. No, but, making a win, I'm not saying to get a purely a strict rental, but at some point, if you trade a guy like Nemitz, and again, don't quote me on this exact trade, but we were talking about this in the pregame. Say you trade a guy like Nemitz in a deal for a guy like Ryan O'Reilly, and you get some other, maybe there's a couple pieces each way, but there's some other stuff coming back on the other end to kind of soften the blow. Not a 1-for-1, but you get, Miller plus something. That puts you, in my opinion, in a good position to push for a real run for the next 3 years, at least. At least. How could you not like a move like that? SJ, only Nemitz or Casey would get a true blue chip young forward. I pick Casey over Nemitz. I would rather keep Casey as well, just because, like we've talked about a bunch of times, he does bring that puck handling element that we don't have a ton of guys, like that. So I would prefer to keep him for that as well. Yoholm says trade Nemitz as part of a package for Quinn. Let's go. I mean, he could sign here when he's a free agent. Luke, Rags have a crazy record with Rempe in the lineup. Devils have a winning record with Mackin. Play him. Yeah. I mean, there is a human element to the game that is not measured in the analytics. I've talked about this a million times as well. Momentum swings, getting guys fired up. There's a lot of intangibles that I do think that McDermott can bring. But people like to shit talk him too. Oh, this guy can't skate, he can't play. Do I expect him to start burying goals? No, but I think he'll bury some guys and bring an edge to the team that we desperately need on many nights. Dogzilla, how can they not dress McDermott and Filthy? I thought it was as good of any time to play him. I always want to see him in the lineup for games like this. Ace, pull a Carson and do a vid with your lineup of your fans. I don't know what that is. What exactly is that? Luke, obviously Nico's valuable. Booze face didn't get a 3C or 4C. This has been an issue since camp. Noah, Neanderthal hockey. Where has it been? We need Dylan crushing dudes nightly. Haven't seen a big hit since Petrarca. He's hit some guys, but it's I hate to say, it seems like they've been told to tone it down. Walt, what's going on? What bothered me the most is knowing that Philly was loaded with guys who have been ill and banged up, but once again, NJ can't take advantage of it. They need to reclaim some fire in their bellies. Couldn't agree more. Alex, physicality can show that other teams shouldn't mess with us, and we could scare them. We're not scaring anybody lately. Max, Ace, I was there. If it looked that bad in person, it must have looked terrible on TV. Oh, it did not look good on TV. Didn't look good on TV at all. Max, embarrassing, uninspired, lazy, sloppy hockey, soft as baby shit. Can't say you're wrong. Cannot say that you were wrong. Ted says it's early, but Mikhail Yegorov looked confident in his first game. Yeah, it's a shame the way that all played out for him. He got the bench minor for doing his rookie lap before he was supposed to enter the ice, and they got hit with a bench minor, and Boston College scored on the power play. Only goal they got past Yegorov. The other goal that BC got was an empty net. Louis, something feels super off about this team. I really am doubting any realistic trade is going to fix it. They're barely treading water right now. Again, you have to realize this team made it close at the end, but without our star goalie, without our best overall player, without our best faceoff guy, it sucks. It sucks, but that is the reality. You have to remember that it's never, if and when we're ever healthy, it's not going to be as ugly as it was tonight. Well, and not to dive into the Doomer's opinion of basically selling off the entire roster, Fitz does need to make a move ASAP. Move Nemitz for impact pieces before other teams get to them. I'm on board. I'm on board with that. Woodson wants to play the long game. I'm done with the long game. I am done with the long game. Jason, no, we haven't won shit since 03. Well, we did make it to the Cup in 2012. Obviously, it's not winning the Cup, but a conference championship is nothing to completely gloss over. Jack McCabe, Dylan, Cotter, and Nason rotate the C for the rest of the year. I wouldn't be mad at that. Max, why isn't Legary up here? He played so well. I liked him a lot, and I thought that he looked pretty damn good and was worth continuing to play him to see what he had. And then, when guys got healthy, he got shipped back down. Luke, 2012 was last good year, at least in 13. Lou was trying to win. Unfortunately, he owed Marty and couldn't bring himself to make DeBoer play Corey Moore. McCabe, if Nico's out for any extended period, pick up the phone, Fitz, trade Casey Nemitz for O'Reilly. I would again, not 1-for-1, but I would consider dangling him for O'Reilly regardless of when he's coming back. Yes, if you're going to trade Nemitz, I almost think because JT Miller's a couple years younger, it would be crazy to. We got to try to find a way to get O'Reilly without trading Nemitz. That would be. I mean, that is just it's just too much. He's too old. Miller's a little bit younger, but it would suck to trade. Such a promising prospect for a few year kind of impact. But at some point, you got to do something. Maybe dangle other prospects and multiple second round picks. There's going to be a lot of competition for these guys, though. Woodson, Fitz is a pro at letting go of forwards who win puck battles, a.k.a. Zetterlund and Boquist. Jack, Devils will never win more than 3 in a row. I think they will at some point. Dubs is like, I'm done with Meyer. I know he scored a meaningless goal, but wasn't he supposed to be a scoring power forward? He has become a $9 million third-line grinder energy guy. Superstar money needs to be a superstar. Well, sadly, $9 million isn't really superstar money anymore. I mean, the superstar money now is $12 million plus. Ideally, I would love to be paying him a little less, but that was the price it was going to take to get him. And realize that without Timo Meier, our forward group is way softer than it is. It's already too soft overall. Taking Timo out of that would be crazy. And you guys are sleeping. He scored that blaster tonight. He lost his power play one time. He's not being played on the right side, which it's proven time and again that's where he's the most effective. And he had a huge play leading up to the Jack goal to win the game in Montreal the other night. And so I'm not gonna, listen to any of the Timo slander for me, because without him, we'd be in much worse shape. Jack, put Timo on the right. Put Timo on the right of Jack with a legitimate left winger for a little while and see what happens. If nothing, then there's a problem. I'm not against that either. Max, I want Ryan freaking O'Reilly. Devin, Jack, and Timo just don't gel for some reason. We've tried it. I know, but it's worth trying again. It's definitely worth trying again. Troy, 1 hour east of KeyBank Arena. The Sabres may be doing horrible, but they're tougher than this team at the moment. It's not saying too much. Well, Devils' biggest issue is lack of consistency, in my opinion. Hot and cold from game to game. I don't know if a vet can help motivate them, but they need to keep it simple and focused, not panic when things go south. Louis, no more future is bright. We are owed. They need to take a step. I'm tired of losing. I'm sick of it. I feel you. Woodson says, I want $1 million right now, but it takes time to build a stack. But at what point do you just say, we can't try? It's taken too long to build the stack. It's been taken forever. Maria, what's going on? I'm wondering maybe Jack and Timo can play together. They've tried it before. It hasn't looked great. But it's worth trying again. I mean, at this point, everything's worth trying. Stanley, Nico deserves to be captain a legit squad for once in his career. Long overdue. You guys think we don't keep Nico? I mean, the Devils are going to try to keep him, but the reality is, if this shit continues, Nico Hischier isn't getting any younger either. He just played in his 500th NHL game. I mean, you could make the argument he's near the halfway point of his career. He's 26 years old. At some point, he might be like, this place is dysfunctional. I'm getting the hell out of here. I want to win a cup too. Who knows? How many more times is he going to get to the playoffs before his contract's up? I don't know. But I know he's played on a lot of shit Devils teams. Made the playoffs his rookie year by a miracle from Taylor Hall, as I mentioned before. And then we had that 22-23 season. And now, last season we missed. And this season is very rocky. D-Rock, Nemitz for, that's a little desperate. I overreacted for a minute. But my point is, not that specific deal, but if we could get a younger guy that's an impact player, it has to be explored. O'Reilly is way too old for Nemitz. I was momentarily being crazy. Unless they added substantial pieces on the other side. If it was like Nemitz, for O'Reilly, a first, some other great prospect, like something like that, then I would still consider it. But if it's nothing substantial coming back the other way, it is not worth it. Yeah, but I don't know how many younger guys, true impact players that are young with a decent contract or any sort of term will be on the block. I would love to get O'Reilly for, some other prospect in a couple second round picks, but I think that could be pipe dreams. Because I think people they're going to get multiple offers of a first, I think. Tom P. Casey's the obvious trade piece for a top 6 forward. No more undersized players, please. Thing is, though, we need to clear cap space to trade for someone who would actually move the needle. Yeah. But I would take a chance on the undersized guy just because his skating is elite. I think he could be an elite puck moving defenseman. I really do. We saw a little bit of what he could do in the brief time he was here, and he was sniping goals. I mean, he's got to work on his defensive game a little bit, obviously, and not get pinned in our own end, which did happen a couple times. But I thought he showed a lot of promise in the games we saw with him to start the season. Alex, Nico may not want to keep NJ. He will be an unrestricted free agent. Agreed. Completely agreed. What if he wants to leave? Luke, analytics nerds, 2 playoffs in 15 years. Play Mac. What's worse that happens? More of the same. It's a fair point. CMZ losing twice to the rebuilding Flyers is a yikes. I agree with that. Tom, we probably have to trade Palat for future considerations to make room for a hard top 6 forward. These are all things that I think get looked at in the offseason. If he's untradeable, maybe they do look at, doing the buyout. I definitely think it's going to be considered. D-Rock, Brat played poorly. Physical game, Jesper the Ghost. I mean, come on, man. He had a great game last game. Ride and respect, bottom 6 needs help. Bad, I agree. Would love to see a center and a winger. Would love to see it. Anson Meadows, who would you rather have back? Zetterlund, Sharangovich, Wood, or Coleman? Easily Zetterlund out of that group, for sure. Yeah, Zetterlund all day. Yep, Zetterlund. Wolf, 134 in here. Start hitting the like button for Ace. Only 37 likes, you savages. Let's go, Devils. Damn, guys. I know everyone's down in the dumps because we lost, but can't you hit the button for your boy one time? Boop. Yo, Holmes, Nemitz is 20. You don't trade him unless you're getting the goods. No, I know. I was temporarily crazy. He's too old for that. And again, unless we're getting like a first back, a high prospect, then I'd consider it. But I would love to get him. I just don't know how likely it is that we're going to have. They're going to want a first, I think, and someone's going to give it to him. CMZ, look at you clowns propose trades after losing to us. Down bad. Yeah, we're down bad right now. Might as well give Yager a call. Bring him back. Gee, put Timo on power play 1 over Brat. Have Timo sit right dot. I would like Timo on power play 1, but I'm definitely not taking Brad off the power play. We need to collect signatures to get them to put Timo on the right. Start a petition. Ryan and respect. Guy will still happily be saying build the stack on his deathbed. That's kind of where I'm at, Ryan and respect. It's like, listen, I'm not building anything anymore. And again, I think Fitz should be moving, pretty aggressively too, because there is no point in so heavily protecting the future, because if you don't make the playoffs this year, that you're not going to be part of that future. So I do find it odd. Ryan, hey Ace, do you finally believe this team is not it? I'm not giving up on the team, bro. I'm not. They were too good earlier in the season. we hit a slump, then we have guys injured. I'm still a believer. They need to get a couple more players to round out the roster, but I'm not bailing. I'm not you. Walt, totally agree about Timo Ace. If you aren't playing him in the right position to handicap him, he's still doing a lot of intangibles that don't show up on the scoreboard. He deserves credit. Oh, Walt, stop talking sensible. There is no such thing as intangibles with these lunatics. Sheer points only. And if the points aren't what they want to see, he sucks and we must trade him, and he was a bad signing and it was a bad trade. Luke, Nico is gone in 2 years. It could be. Yeah, why would he stay here for the kiss cam? That's my fear, right? So nothing is guaranteed. This core may not even last beyond a couple seasons. If you don't try to win with this core, then what was the point of any of it? What is the point of any of it? David Chimes, I just need a place to scream. Too long of a lull. Not just a small January slump. This is on Keith. Starting to look like there's lack of focus, even if there's no Travis Green quit. Oh, boy. Jeep, Casey reminds me a lot of Lane Hudson, smaller but incredible with the puck. I mean, listen, he's got the wheels. He's got the shot. He could pass. He has very good hockey sense. I'm very high on Seamus Casey, and because of, like others have pointed out, other than Luke, we don't really have any puck-moving defenseman with that skill set, and that's why I think Casey, if anyone, has to be the guy that's protected if the Vultures come circling for one of our D prospects, just because, you know, we don't have guys with those skills. Dr. Brian, like up to live, boys. Yeah, appreciate that. Damn, we're up to 42. Stingy Mo's out here. Stingy. Why did we fire Ray Shiro again? Oh, man. Yeah, it sucks, guys. I want to win too. I really do. I am curious to see if and when a deal is made. I will say, though, if no deals are made, I will be beyond distraught and beyond furious, because there's no time like the present. And, 2 more years. Nico could say, I've seen enough. Time to go to a winner. And that would really sting. The Insane Pollock, you doomers can seriously F off tonight. Louis, intangibles only go so far when you make 8.8. Luke, I do Nemitz if we get Novak, Riley, and a pick with retention on both. I think that's a little over optimistic, but that would be nice. I wonder if Nashville would ever sell that hard. That's a pretty hard sell to just start dumping everybody. Let me dream about Stamkos with retention. It'll never happen, but that would be phenomenal. What did Keith say post-game? Not much. It was very short and, not too much at all. It's very brief. SJ, yeah, it's knowing that they don't put Timo where he played, and SJ dude had a 70-point year on that side. I mean, mind-boggling. Completely mind-boggling. Stanley 62495. Apparently, Ray had different plans in ownership. If I remember crotchety correctly, ownership was looking to fast-track the timeline, or it was the other way around. RJ, over under 10 brain cells in the chat. I'm going to take the over, but just barely. Brandon, 2025 has been just brutal for the Devils. You ain't kidding, man. SST, Devils quarter century team was up on the NHL site for mere hours. Vegas, favorite Gary's toy over 40 hours, and it's still there. I think it's still there, isn't it? Maybe it's just not displayed prominently. Yeah, it's still on the site. Do you mean like pinned or something? Luke, Nemitz has some good hands. He could be there on the power play if need be. John Fay, we're going to learn the hard way what happens when you don't put players on the exact side they're meant to play on. Yeah, it was crazy. All last year, people were talking about it. We talked about it. Use him where he was used in San Jose. That is why you traded for him, for that guy. Not putting him on the power play, putting him on the left side. That's not using him to the best of his abilities. Luke, we fired Ray Shiro because he botched the Hall negotiation and shit the bed with the Subban trade. Liam Smith, the fan base is pathetic. I had to leave the NJ Devils Facebook group today. Everyone is such a bunch of whiny babies. We're down our 2 best players. If we win 3 out of 7 without Markey, it's a positive. Oh, give me at least 4, Liam. Give me at least 4. John Fay says, what group? Jay Snow, how's the Knicks doing these days? I don't follow basketball at all. Carson, I actually really don't mind the Devils. Probably top 10. Would much rather cheer for you guys in the dirty poverty rags. SJ, all fan base is the same, literally. It seems like that in all sports. People get very high, they get very low, and everyone just likes to talk smack. The one universal concept is that sports fans love bitching after a bad performance by their team. That is a constant in the world of sports fans. People love bitching, airing their grievances, and misery loves company. Devin, I don't even see too much dooming in here tonight. We all kind of agree on a lot. No one's really fighting. I guess a lot of it came out earlier, Devin. There was a third period emergency live, and I guess a lot of it was aired out then. RJ, my mom says I don't do well in groups. Dr. Brian, I'm going to the Wednesday game for the rematch. Honestly, I would give Poulter a shot. I think, Poulter, they never planned on getting Poulter a start. Pretty soon, I think you're going to see Dawes. They said Dawes is going to come up. Poulter's going to go back down. And at some point, I think Dawes will get a start in that first week of February where the Devils have 4 games in 7 nights. The analytics team would definitely not allow a goalie to play that many games, especially in that stretch. So I think we're definitely going to see at least a Dawes start. Luke, Stamkos just bought a mansion. He ain't leaving. Did he buy one in Nashville? Nashville's probably such a fun city to play in for the players. And there's no state income tax. Oh, my God. Liam Smith, Facebook is a cesspool. I messed up joining. Alex, we're just worried of a repeat of last year. I am petrified of it. Jay Snow, good news. The Devils are going to get embarrassed on national TV Wednesday. I really hope not. Stanley, of course, Carson doesn't mind the Devils. Who doesn't love their team's decades-old punching bag? Insane Pollock, Ace, are we still in a playoff spot by the 4 Nations break? Let me look at something. So that's what, 1. That's 5 games left. 5 games left. Yes. Yes, we are. Yeah, I mean, we're still 7 points ahead of the Blue Jackets with only 1 more game played. Amagi, March of Meyer happened because Green came in and put Timo on the right. No? Have they completely forgotten that happened? I really can't understand the decision-making. Yeah, it is mind-boggling. After Lindy got shown the door, Green did put Timo on power play 1 often, and he was on the right side, and he scored the most goals in the league in March. I think he had 14 or 15 goals. Does anyone think someone should have dropped the gloves tonight? Absolutely, M. Sharp. A lot of us think the gloves should have been dropped. And a physical, chippy game that I would have liked to see Curtis McDermott in. Louis, what about after almost an entire month of bad performances? Yeah, it was a bad stretch. Bad stretch. Luke, 3 out of 7. Fans like that are happy losing. Just skate around and have fun. Liam Smith says definitely should have dropped the mitts tonight. Obviously, I agree. Devin, really don't understand either Amagi. We all saw it happen with Timo on the right, and now we forgot again. Mind blown. For whatever reason, they put him on the left. It is one of those crazy things. Like, why? Why? Oh, why? Jason, no, this team is shit right now. They're easy to play against. They are. They need to hit that heavier, edgier, more violent switch. John Fay, Mitch should have dropped at least once tonight, but Mitts are 100% going to drop Wednesday when we meet the Flyers again. I can't say. I wish you were correct, but nothing I've seen as of late would convince me that we're guaranteed to see Mitch dropped. I would love to see it. We're not responding in any way. We look lifeless. I think we are long overdue to see some Mitch dropped, but I am not, confident enough to be like, we're definitely going to see it. I would like to see it, and it's warranted. But I think it's far from a guarantee. Luke says analytics team, LOL, Ace, just calm them nerds. I'm just saying, they're not going to let Allen play those 4 games in 7 nights. And so we're going to see Dawes in there one night, I think. Antonino, got to give Timo on PP1, get Palat off of it. Who was on power play 1 tonight? I think it was we saw Hallinan get a sniff on the power play at some point. All right. Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell happened. Software malfunctioning today. It's all part of the sport. It is all part of the sport. And there goes the webcam. Yep. Samuel, I don't mean just getting up there. We seem slow to the boards to get to pucks and slow on D. I mean, when we look bad, we look bad. This guy, Alex, damn, Ace just went Devils in January. Complete ghost. It does seem like a ghosting. Streamed, I know I'm back. Ace just came back from his Christmas break. Webcam is day to day. Alex, it's okay. So we're going to put you on the left wing. And I got to be on the right side. I'm a left-handed shot. I got to be on the right side. Curious on how many hits tonight. Does anyone know? I believe it was 20. I will double check to see if there was any updates. But the New Jersey Devils registered 20 hits to the Flyers 25. 20 hits is not nearly enough, guys. It's not. Ace for starting goalie 25-26. I don't think my old knees could take playing goalie anymore. I did play goalie when I was a kid in street hockey for a while. I did like it, but then I was like, I want to bomb shots on people. Jack, can't have a no-show on Wednesday. National game, got to win. Throw McD in there. Oh, boy. I'll be curious to see if it happens. We'll be curious to see if it happens, but I will not be surprised if it's not. I think the only chance that he has to get in there is now because Bastion's out, so that might give him a shot to crack the lineup. But maybe they play Hallinan again and bring up another kid. I don't know. Obviously, who the hell knows what's going on with Hall these days? Is he set to return anytime soon? That would be interesting and probably helpful. So many question marks. How long are we really going to be without Nico Hischier? I'm starting to get very nervous about it. I'm not going to lie. Very nervous that they're going to just string us along for a little bit and then we're going to get hit with some devastating news. I sincerely hope that's not the case. John Fay, we need to see something change for Wednesday. I think we need to see a lot change. Jeep, Devils got to start putting up 40s in the hits category. I think I'll settle for 30. 40s is very kind of rare, but 30s I think is possible. Jason, no, it's not even the amount of hits. Their hits were bumping us off pucks. Devin, think Keefe has a no fight clause for players. I used to think it's because he doesn't want to take a penalty, but what's the excuse now? I think he just doesn't want any extra penalties or nonsense, and so I don't know because it's not the guys. We know that we saw it in the beginning. We led the league in fighting majors, guys. We still have all those players. They're no slouches. They're ready and willing to do the job. It has to be coming from above. There is no other explanation. No other explanation whatsoever. Antonino, thank God for your channel, dude, and actually reading our comments. Yeah, thanks for watching, pal. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'll always read the comments. Jay Snow, H never played ice hockey. I mess around on the pond and stuff. I never played organized ice hockey. Just roller. But I mess around on the pond and stuff. I'm not very good at ice skating. My high school didn't have a team, and so I never took it up like as a kid. To play as a kid, it's very expensive, and you go to practice at 5 a.m. and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, if my high school doesn't have a team, then I'm just not that committed to it. Mike, throw Dougie and Luke on forward and have McDermott on D and call up Nemitz. They're never gonna let McDermott play D. Roman Checkmonic, paying Luke Hughes long term might kill his team for next year, and I don't trust Fitz to fix it. How is this our high-end product? Or how is this our end product? He hasn't proved he can team build. Luke's gonna get paid, guys. You gotta just accept it. That's happening. Luke, Nico is good. He's year to year. John Fay, we were all nervous about Nico. Well, okay, got to run and do that annoying job thing. I hope NJ rolls out Wednesday pissed off with a chip on the shoulder. Play Mac. Hope for a fast Nico recovery, and let's go Devils. Take care, Walt. Have a good one. Stanley, the Devils were leading the league in fights. I have to believe they were told to cut it out. There's no other reason. There's no other explanation. We still have the guys in the lineup. Richard, really needed to stop on that second goal. Allen, it would have been a different game, likely to OT or a win. Who knows? I agree. The Allen... Again, I hate to be that guy. Allen didn't have a good game, and I do believe if Markey was in there, we win the game. And I hate being that guy. SJ, man, it's rare that goalies get hurt. Insane we lost Markey. Terrible. Maria D, maybe it's coming from above Keefe, the fighting band. At this juncture, I wouldn't be surprised by anything, but it does seem like I could see Keefe kind of doing that. But I don't know. This is all speculation. But either way, I have to believe the fighting cut down came from somewhere. Devin G, has to be coming from somewhere because it was so sudden. Completely agree. Stanley says, I agree. Maria Carson, Ace, I'm sure he'd be better than Frederick, Toronto, Anderson in the playoffs. Dude is Alexander Gorgiev. He skips a lot of comments. Do you know how many comments come in here? My God. I can't read every comment. It's not even possible. And I try to stay somewhat current. There's hundreds of comments in here. It's not possible. I'm like skimming them. I'm doing the best I can, man. Chris Wilson, hell yeah, that's why I learned how to play at 34 because I could afford it. Yeah, ice hockey, expensive as shit. All the equipment, a fortune. Ice time's a fortune. And it sucks for a lot of kids that want to play because for a lot of families, it's not in the cards. Gear is a fortune. John Fay, I say Keefe just gives the fighters the green light to start laying and dropping people and throwing hands. Yeah, that'd be nice. I don't know how realistic that is, but I would love to see it. Jeep 7878, the analytics team doesn't like fighting. Jace, no, that's the problem with hockey. It's super expensive to play. Jack McCabe, the whole Devils team is year to year. Antonino, not the biggest Luke fan, but he got better on D, major improvement. Absolutely. And I do think, Brett Pesce has a lot to do with his development. Brett Pesce is a guy that could, cover up some mistakes, and I think he's been a great partner for Luke. Blackatron with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Boots on the ground tonight in Philly. I ended up just getting hammered club/lounge level with my host after the first period. Not good. Let's go Devils. Sounds like a great time, Blackatron. Thank you for the super. Really appreciate it. Give us some more details. What is the club lounge level like in Philadelphia? And who was this host of yours? So many questions I need answers to. David Chimes, I believe in the team and hate negative overreacts, but concern is justified now. Only two truly good games out of 15 factoring opponent play since Christmas. Sub 500, not 1-3, guys. Team play on Keefe. M. Sharp. No legs in the first two periods. Traveling Devil, why did they sign McDermott if they won't allow him to do his job? A big question for me as well. When people were like, oh, the McDermott signing sucked, I fought them tooth and nail. But the reality is, if they're not going to play him, and furthermore, when he does play sparingly, they're not going to let him do his job, then it truly was a dumb signing because it was a waste of money. I liked it thinking he was going to play and they were going to let him play his job, do his role. But he doesn't play a lot, and it seems like when he is, he's not allowed to fight. And also it could be maybe that's not the case, that he's tried to get some fights and no one wants to fight him. I mean, realistically, there's going to be many nights where if he's trying to get a fight, guys are going to be like, I'm not fighting you. Like, that happens a lot. Guys aren't exactly, lining up to fight Curtis McDermott. Devin G won't play Big Mac to fight, won't put Timo on the right. Come on. Gavin, nice skates alone can run you for 500. Oh, yeah, I've seen some crazy. The price of equipment, some of the good sticks, I think, are $350 these days. Dr. Brian, besides hockey, how are you doing, Ace, in your regular clothes, regular day life? I guess it's all right. I mean, could always be better, but as my mother likes to point out, it could always be worse, even though I hate that logic, but it is true. Jay Snow, I'm bridging Luke. They need cap space to sign players. Well, he might not accept that. That might not be an option, and I don't think it will be. I think he wants to get paid now. Steve Smith, panic button pressed. I pressed it about a week ago. Made a video on it. If you haven't seen it, check it out on the channel. Jay Snow, skated on ponds tons of times, didn't fall in. RJ Connor, Philly is full of all types of creatures. Do you mean the city? The city of Philly? Antonino, need Big Mac, 3 out of 5 games. Devin G, I'd say hand on panic button, not press it. If we come out of Four Nations break looking hard, then press it. Jay Snow, Big Mac doesn't do anything when he plays. John faces Connor. You could say that again. Jeep 7878. If I'm Fitz, I'm sending some picks and maybe a mid prospect for a limited rental. I'm not mad at that. Johnny Danks, Ace, I'm getting last year vibes. I certainly hope not. I can understand the PTSD. I certainly can understand it, but I hope that's not the case. Oh, I really hope it's not the case. Coordinator, could the front office just fire Fitzgerald for his inconsistency? I think he has at least this year. I think he has at least this year for sure. And I have faith that he's going to tweak the roster. But if he doesn't, I will be very critical because this is time to to show the team you believe in them and you're trying to win. Not doing anything would be atrocious. Ace could definitely be worse. He could be a Rags fan. Oh, boy. Jay Snow, is Luke arbitration eligible? I am not sure on that. Evan, we need to be more physical like we were in the beginning of the season. Couldn't agree more. I don't know if we'll ever see that team again. I'm hoping we do. But it seems like the heavier, edgier, more violent crew has packed it up for now. I hope they return. Just like I hope the lockdown defense returns. John Fay, okay, Ace, I'm going to head out. See you on the next one. Let's go Devils. Have a good night, John. Liam Smith just got my Nico jersey. I really hope he's not gone in 2 years. I don't think so. I think he's here for the long term. Coordinator, the Devils are a bunch of little kids under Sheldon Keefe. Can someone get Mike Yeo to replace him? Keefe's not going anywhere for a while either, guys. I don't think he's the problem. Antonino, what do you think the problem with this is? The problem with this team, is it like country club vibes? Because it seems like they only try in the last couple of minutes. It's hard to put a finger on it. I don't know exactly. Obviously, health is an issue. For anyone saying like, "Oh, that's an excuse," like it's not an excuse. It's the reality. Health is a big issue, and it came just when we're trying to get out of the slump. Allen won us those two games in a row, and tonight he didn't play great. Obviously, the team didn't play great, and we took a painful loss in Philly. Jason, no, the problem is the ownership group don't care. They only care about money, and I've had that kind of concern for a while. I hope it's not true, but until I see something that proves otherwise, I'm going to be skeptical. I mean, we didn't use Dougie's LTIR money last year. That's a very concerning kind of thing. RJ Connor, I'm still bitter about the underproduction of the Stadium Series jerseys. That's on the league. What a botched rollout. That truly was sad. Yo, Holmes, if Big Mac can play without making penalties until he punches someone in the face, then let's go. RJ Connor, all I got was a XXL Nico jersey. Richard Tompkins, let's grab Hot Dog Phil. I think the Kessel thing is done. I would have liked to get him a couple years ago, but now I think that ship has sailed and he's completely done. Luke says Luke is not arbitration eligible and is getting like 8 to 9 mil, unfortunately. I guessed between 7 and 8 million, Luke. There's people in here saying 2.5 and 4 million, and that I was crazy to say between 7 and 8. He's definitely getting between 7 and 8. And I'm going to flame the people that told me I was nuts. I'm going to flame them because they're just so out of touch with reality. M Sharp, good idea on Nico jersey, glue for the team. SJ, too many guys that don't touch or like to be touched. So they avoid the slot and just shoot prayers. Little bit of truth to that. Blackatron, my host is a season ticket flyer guy whom I serve alcoholic beverages. Job as per my occupation. Club lounge levels at Wells Fargo are much more robust than the Rock. Hate to admit it. I believe they are. What kind of food they have in there, Blackatron? Chico, it's been a while since the game, but I'm still pretty angry. What a wasted game, man. Just unacceptable. I'm going to be angry all tomorrow until the next game. Eric Wolf, we are going to be fourth in the Metro by the break. I certainly hope not. Maria says, had to get a Kitty Stadium Series jersey. I wish I had that option. Clearly, I do not. Luke, ownership cares more about money. They also care about gentle, caring images. Let's see a cute story about Tatar spending his offseason after sucking in the playoffs. You guys are brutal. Blackatron, Kessel is a beer leaguer. Devin G, you think Luke gets more than Jack, though? I don't. I think he gets between 7 and 8 million bucks. But there was some people putting crazy high estimates out there. But I think it'll fall somewhere in that 7 to 8 million range. Johnny Danks, Keith had an attitude the first month when we were dominating and now seems soft during interviews. He just kind of seems like very stoic, just kind of even keeled after losses when you'd want to see a little bit of fire, a little bit of something at least. You know, be mad the team loses. Everyone in here is mad, as am I, and for good reason. Like, what the hell? We want to win. Give me something. Antonino says Luke is getting 7 to 8.25. I think that's very close to what I said, 7 to 8. Ace, you grew up in North, South, or Central Jersey? North Jersey. Luke, yes, because the cap is going up and the guys that aren't as good as Luke got more. Sucks if Luke takes 8x8. I'll be pumped. Isn't that crazy? There's going to be people that are, Luke, you're very realistic about what he's going to sign for. There's going to be people here that are floored when he signs a deal like that. I will not be one of them, but there's going to be people that are shocked and then they'll be crying and moaning after the fact. SST, you allowed to lose a game when the playoffs are in jeopardy, but not to a division rival. A lot of divisional games left. Devils need to pretty much win all of them to stand a chance at the playoffs. That is incorrect. Chico, I just want to understand what about this team refuses to show up at the weirdest times? Like you're coming out of a slump versus a team you're comically better than. Show up from puck drop. Agree. The effort is just not there a lot of times. It is annoying. We should beat them for sure. Pesci's been bad lately. His minutes were cut tonight. I don't think he's been bad. Let's see. How many minutes did he play? Played 15:56. Luke says it's not that crazy when Pedersen gets over 11 mil. Yeah, it's kind of wild. RJ, 5.5 average value would be ideal for Luke. Yeah, 4.5 would be ideal. It's never happening, though. Chico, they played fine the rest of the game, but they were already down 3-0. Again, yeah, too late. Too little, too late. You let them jump on us early, and we never recovered. Devin G, they took Luke and Pesci off the line together in third. That was interesting. Yeah, I think we saw Kovacevic and Luke. The first time we've really seen tinkering with the D. I may have seen a couple other instances of it, but not much. Richard Tompkins, if Luke played like his brother Quinn, we give him the farm. I mean, Quinn's one of the best defensemen in the league, obviously. Chico, 8x8 on Luke is a gamble I'm willing to take, and it is a gamble that the Devils will take. Johnny Danks, Ace, at this point, who are you okay moving on from? I mean, depending on the return, I'm essentially okay with moving on from anyone, but I would like to give this core, the core has to stay together for at least this season. I just want to see win now moves. So whether they're more depth moves or they try to make a bigger splash with a guy like O'Reilly. I mean, I just want to see improvement and win now moves. That's what I'm looking for. But if the right deal comes along, I'm not against trading anyone, essentially. Coordinator, I just replaced ownership at this point. Inconsistency is a sign that this franchise could be in danger of relocating again. I addressed this earlier. The ownership group owns Prudential Center. That is the dream for a team owner, to own the team and the building. And for that reason and that reason alone, aside from many others, being in the New York metro market and, again, the arena and being profitable even when they suck, the Devils aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Chico, Allen was not great tonight, in my opinion, but come on, you have to score in a 4-minute power play in the first. That's a gift from Santa Sack. I agree with that, too. had they buried one on even just one on that power play, playing with a 1-0 lead is very different than chasing down 2 and 3-0. Luke, Cap might go up as $8 million. Move Hamilton, sadly. Nemitz and maybe Casey come up. Oh, Boozeface Fitz fired before all this, then fix the forward core. Coordinator just replaced the front office. Antonino would have loved to get Mikko Rantanen. He's looking for $14 million. I have no interest in that. That's just complete greed. You look at our top dogs are all making in the 8 to 9 range. Rantanen's good, but I'm not interested in paying him $14 million. There's no way we would be able to sign him. So I disagree. We should not have done that. That's wild. Luke, the D has not been good since Christmas break. It's been a big part of the slide turning into an avalanche. I think it's primarily the offense struggling, honestly. With the offense failing to score goals, obviously you're at a huge disadvantage. And when your offense is struggling, that means you're playing in your D zone more often. I do believe it's kind of all a compounded problem from the lack of offense and lack of sustained offensive pressure. Eric Wolf says, call up Nemitz, trade Covey, bash in a prospect, and a late round pick for Ryan O'Reilly. That would hurt. But I might consider that one. I really want Kovacevic long term, and Fitzy said he did too. We'll see. Jack McCabe, put Luke with Dougie. He can make up for his slowness. The other two pairs can be the shutdown defensive-minded pairings. I think we're a little late for that. Oh, my God. Hold on. Hold on. The camera's deciding to be temperamental. The camera wants to be temperamental, and there he is. He's back. I'm open to trying anything, but it seemed like they were settled on these pairs. They were playing together for so long. Antonino, Blitz only cares about Washington right now. Blackatron, our goalie prospect, Mikhail Yegrov is going to be a beast. We just have to buy some time. I think he is. I want to go see him play at Boston. That'd be cool. Devin G, that 4-minute power play haunting, really. I think we all felt after that our night was going to be rough. There was still a whole game to play, so I was kind of discouraged by it, but I didn't look into it too much. But obviously, it was a little bit of a foreshadowing of things to come. Chico, at $14 million per, he's basically kissing another cup goodbye. These guys want to get paid. I have no interest in paying him $14 million at all. M Sharp, Luke is still young. Only will get better. Better to pay now than later. I agree with that sentiment as well. Johnny Danks, what happened to the beef on this team? I don't know. We were heavier, edgier, more violent for a while, and now we've just that portion of their game has disappeared, and it's discouraging because it is an effective way to win games in this league. Devin G, honestly, if Luke just cuts the turnovers, he's pretty solid. No, of course, he's going to be a very good player in this league. He's 21 years old. His defense is getting better. Obviously, he is an offensive threat. In a few years from now, $8 million from him would probably be a steal. Luke, ownership group has a steady paycheck, sweetheart deal with MSG with no cost attached. Devils only have to draw 70 to 80% to be profitable. Far cry from where we came from. Sadly, owners only good at money. Yeah, we're an investment. Antonino, Mikko at $13 million with cap going up is fair. Pass for me. There's way better places to spend that money, in my opinion. Antonino, not trading Nemitz unless it's Brady or calibers like that. I could get on board with that. That's what I was saying. Oh, I hit it. I hit the mic. That's what I was saying a couple weeks ago, but now I've become a little more desperate in the past couple weeks. But originally I was saying I would only trade him for a monster, a sizable player as well. Luke, Ratton at 14 is disgusting. I agree. Chico, I would argue every NHL star is underpaid, but in a hard cap league, you have to pick winning or money. You can't have both. Very good point. Rantanen demanding $14 million from a team is going to really strap them cap-wise. Obviously, you're not, prioritizing winning, I suppose. I mean, I'm sure he wants to win, but he also wants money, and it seems like if he wants $14 million, he wants money more than to win. As Fitz says, he wants he wants players on the Devils that are willing to, as he calls it, leave a little meat on the bone and not extort the team for every dollar imaginable to allow the team the cap flexibility to try to build the best overall team. And obviously taking a little less than market value helps the team field a better roster. Ace, would you take Morgan Geeky for Mercer? No. No, I would not. I like Geeky, but I'm not trading Mercer for him. Chico, you saw it a bit last year, too. The team never looked worse than when Nico was out. Yeah, Nico, again, all situations guy, face-off wizard. His presence is always going to be felt. Luke, Washington rebuilt on the fly. Got the right goalie moved out. The wrong goalie drafted well. Meanwhile, Devils are still trying to beat lottery teams in January. Devin G, Geeky's on a heater, 4 or 5 games with a goal. D pairings were all changed in the third. Siegs with Hamilton, Luke with Kova, and Dylan with Pesci. SJ, but rather have the Devils than lose the something ownership changes. Chico, the best word I could think of for the Devils core is annoying. They're an irritating team. They pull shit like this all the time. Just embarrassing efforts versus teams they're better than. Jason said I'd take Geeky for Mercer in a heartbeat. Antonino says bass made of glass. It was a rough one, guys. It was a rough one. It wasn't pretty. They made it interesting at the end, but once again, it was a tease. It was all a tease. All right, I'm going to take a 2-minute break, use the bathroom. We'll start winding this down. If anyone has anything, questions, comments, thoughts, suggestion box, throw it all out there. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in 2 minutes. We'll start wrapping this thing down. What a painful night. Luke, Ace, when you get the call in set up, yeah, I got to get that set up. But now I'm like, I don't even know. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Hold on. This is so annoying, guys. The camera's malfunctioning tonight. It's always something. It's always something, guys. The camera has a mind of its own tonight. The camera has a mind of its own tonight. The call-ins would be brutal right now. I can't even imagine. Yeah, the camera's like, we're done. The camera's like, I'm fucking done. I can't imagine what the call-ins would be. It might be too painful. The chat is bad enough. I don't know if Fitz is going to make a move or we keep losing Ace. Need that Four Nation break ASAP? Absolutely. I have a lot of exciting stuff planned for you guys during the Four Nations break, though. Have no fear. There'll be some sort of entertainment. At least I'm going to try from my end during that 2-week break. I do have a lot of stuff planned, and it should be very interesting. Devin G, win Wednesday, all is back to okay. Lose Wednesday, it's bottom. I'm not going to say it's all back to okay, but again, it's, on the road. I'm never going to, say it's all okay for quite some time. Jason says, I can't believe it's going to be another garbage year. Have some faith, man. Chico, honestly, if they miss the playoffs this year, you have to move on from at least one core piece, maybe two. I think you might see one. If we miss playoffs, I agree, but who, Tazo? I'm hoping for the opposite effect. Jason, if they miss the playoffs, you have to trade a piece of the core. I hope that does not happen. Jack, team needs help. Big help in terms of big guys. Chico, Fitz wouldn't do it. But if it's me, I move on from the Hughes brothers. Never happening. Jason, I don't know. Chico, watching these games doesn't give me much hope. Chico, I think Nico and Brad are too valuable to ever part with. I kind of agree with that as well. Liam, man, that'd be so sad, though. I guess I get too emotionally attached to the boys. I mean, everyone does. Camera is week to week. Liam says, just talk to us, Ace. It's all good. Maria, fire the camera. Jason, it won't be Nico, Jack, or Timo. I think it would be Brat. He does seem like he'd be the odd man out, but it's hard. That's why someone said in the last live, like, we're kind of married to the core, and to some extent, we kind of are. I mean, what is the point of trading Brat? And he's on a pretty team-friendly contract. M Sharp can only hope they get hot at the right time. It could happen, and that is what I am hoping on as well. Chico, honestly, if it's Brat that pays the price for this, I would just tune out. That'd be the straw that broke the camel's back for me. Luke says, I'm tired of typing. Yeah, Luke wants to call in and rant. Jason, even the camera's embarrassed with this team. Chico, a win on Wednesday is no longer enough for me. They need to win Wednesday and then go on at least 2-1-1 before the Four Nations break. I am with you, Chico. A single win, not going to do it for me either. SJ would be Brat, but it would have to be for Brady or a guy of that caliber. I like that idea. Jason, how about a freaking winning streak? I would love to see it. We went for 3 in a row tonight and it was foiled. Antonino, can't trade Brad. He's the most consistent. I agree with that as well. Jason, to get a nice return for Brad, what are you going to do? Keep running back the same team? Devin G, let him call in. We haven't had that in a while. All right, I'll see if I could get it set up soon. I don't want to have to do it the way I did through the speaker. It's kind of annoying. There are like internal ways that you could kind of drop it in there. But all this shit's annoying, guys. I'm an old man. I'm an old man. I am shocked I even got this far. There's fucking lights. There's cameras, microphones, cords, temperamental software. There's a lot of elements involved that are not very friendly to an older fellow like myself. And we're adding more and more elements. But I will try. There is a way I think I could do it. Some of the calls are going to be, oh, man. You guys thought the chat was dooming. I can only imagine the calls. Chico, how about they play with some heart? I would like to see that too. Play like you want to win the game. Play like you're embarrassing your fans for the 80th year in a row. I don't want to rant. I want to, what is that? Is it the mind explosion? I can't tell what that shows up as a weird emoji on my end. Antonino says, need the call in. Devin G, doing good. Did we appreciate all your effort, man? Yeah, I appreciate your appreciation, Devin. I do enjoy talking to everybody, and it is like group therapy for all of us on shitty nights like tonight, and the celebrations are great too. Unfortunately, the celebrations have not been frequent enough at all in 2025. Jason, Chico, I wish they play like a bunch of females out there. You got Luke, LOL, old man. I'm 45 going on 60, and I haven't played hockey tomorrow. I'm about to be 40, but in the tech world, I feel like I'm 90. There's so much shit that I've had to learn kind of on the fly with all this. Devin says, can't wait for the calls. Chico, I'm furious. I'm not ready to do them just yet. Anson, Ace, who is your next big interview? There's a couple things in the works. A lot of things in the works. Like I've said before, everything takes time and patience and a little bit of luck and a little bit of good fortune. But I will say there will be... during the Four Nations break, I will have a little interview series. During some of the downtime. It's a 2-week break. Let me look at the schedule here. Yeah, we play the 8th, and then we don't play again for 2 full weeks till the 22nd. There's obviously some there is 1, 2. So there's a Four Nations game on the 12th, 1 on the 13th, 2 on the 15th, 2 on the 17th, and championship game on the 20th. So there is hockey. There is Four Nations games being played on five days of the 2-week break. And I'll have some interesting things to bring you guys on some of the off nights. So look for that. It'll be very, very interesting, I think. Antonino, call's going to be the more exciting than the 2025 games. Jace, no, I don't get it. I never played a sport without having my heart into it. Maybe it's the money, they don't care. It's possible. I'm thinking I'm where y'all were at the Flyers Sens back-to-back. Oh, that's when I said hit the button. I was furious. Just uninspired back-to-back games with 1 goal. I was at my wit's end. Luke, good stuff, man. Gentlemen, have a good night. Let's go Devils. Good night, Luke. Chico, the Devils never used to embarrass us like this. They never did it. You could feel the fear on the bench after a bad loss, even deep into the 2000s, even after the GOAT core was gone. Devin, until next time, Devils fans, Devs fam. All right, that's it, guys. It's a wrap. The Devils go to Philly. They lay a stinker, lose 4-2. Too little, too late. Teased us with the late Timo goal. Pull the goalie. Couldn't get anything. They bury the empty net. We lose 4-2. Back in action against these bums. I'm losing track of my days here. Wednesday night. Yeah, back in action against the Flyers Wednesday night at the Rock. Hopefully we see a much better team and we see some more inspired hockey. Anson Meadows, looking forward to the Marty interview. Maybe Fitz will get interviewed too. Huh. The Marty one would be nice, but that might take some time. SJ, the toughness of the organization has vanished as the using years piled up. I agree. Richard Zimmer, I've seen so much year after year. I've seen this team struggle and win a cup twice over. Needs point, make the playoffs, and you watch different Devils will arise. Amagi, I'll be there Wednesday. Let's go Devils. Very nice. Chico, good night, Ace and friends. May you all dream of Devils cup runs. I have dreams about the old cup runs quite often. Good night, Husky. Devin G, hopefully they get a win for Amagi. Good night, Mary. Jay Snow, can't wait to see the national media says about the Devils. Oh, boy. All right, that's it. It's over. Be back Wednesday. Hopefully we see a better effort. Hopefully they respond. Hopefully we get a win. Hopefully Nico's back. Fingers crossed. I'm very, very, very upset about the Nico news. But hit the thumbs out for your boy on the way out. I don't know where we're at in terms of that, but it's probably tragic. But that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go.